Camera tracking is a tool that will help us add different elements in our video that did not exist previously and make them look like they belong there in terms of position, scale, orientation as they match the movement of the camera. Now, this can include anything from text, graphics, icon to 3D objects. What you want to do is select your footage, come to Windows and select Tracker. If it's already checked, you'll find it right here. Click on Track Camera. It will take some time to analyze your footage depending on the power of your PC, and it will give you some tracking points. You do not want to have a lot of things that are moving around in your footage, or else you need to put a black mask. If the resolution of the video doesn't match with the composition setting, you probably need to pre-compose your footage so it can work alright. Fixed angle is a camera shot that doesn't have a lot of zooming in and zooming out. Just a standard video like this is a fixed angle. Variable zoom is if your footage starts zooming in. Maybe in the beginning it was a wide shot, then it zoomed into a close-up shot. Specifying an angle is if you have shot your footage in a specific angle that you know. You can specify the angle view. You can type in the angle. It will help this camera tracker tool understand better your footage. So mine is fix the angle. On the bottom here we have show track points. Yes, so if you select, you can see we have a bunch of track points here. Now on here you have two options. You have 2D source and 3D solve. What the camera tracker does is it takes some points on your 2D video and then transforms them by solving them into 3D. Now if you click on the 2D source here, your points are all the same size, as they don't change in terms of perspective or distance of the footage. But if they are solved into 3D, you can see some points will be bigger like these ones and some will be smaller like this one, which shows the difference in position from your track point to the camera. On render track points, make sure to leave it unchecked. Otherwise, when you export your video, it will have all these tracking marks inside your final video. So make sure to keep this unchecked before you export. If you change the track point size, you can see they can change in size. And same goes to the target. Like this is the target, the red thing that you see. In default it's 100. You can make it smaller or you can make it bigger, but I'll just leave it to 100 because changing the size doesn't really affect the performance of your camera tracker. On advanced options here we have solve method. Auto detect the camera tracker itself, trying to figure out the best method to use. Tripod pan is for a footage that has been on a tripod and you're just panning from left to right or tilting from top to bottom. Mostly flat scene is best suitable for flat surfaces like a field or like a table or like a wall. Typical is a scene that contains a lot of stuff like changing any angles, changing any position of the camera. There's a bunch of details on the scene, which like right here on the method used mostly flat scene. It took flat scene because most of these places are flat, but there's a lot of stuff going on here. So I'm gonna choose typical. And once you do that, it's gonna solve the camera again and give you brand new track points. You can see like previously on a flat scene, you can see the target size was way bigger, but when I change this to typical, and you can see this is a big drone shot and this is a very big volcanic mountain, so the target is a bit smaller, which means it's more efficient. Average error is an error that occurs when there's a change from the 2D source when they get solved into 3D track points. The green track points, whenever you do camera tracking, are the best track points, and changing in color to red, the red are the worst track points to use. And right here, if we have an average error that is below 1 pixel, it means we are good. If we are above 1 pixel, that means the track point was shit. Here we have 0.77 pixels, which is great. And now I'm going to click on detailed analysis, which will allow the camera tracker to do another analysis in depth. It's going to take some time, but it's worth it. As it's finishing up with the solving, this is called a warning banner. If something goes wrong, it will give you a red warning that the camera tracker did not work properly. You can actually hide this warning banner by putting a check mark here. It doesn't really bother me, so I just leave it there. If you click on create camera, it will create a 3D camera which contains the detail movement of your footage camera. And after creating this camera, you're actually free to now create layers, for example texts, and type in your texts and make this 3D, and now you can see your text will be tracked. Now you can use the Z-axis to push it back, position it, rotate it, and if you click on rotation and hold shift, you can actually rotate in precise points. And now if you play here, you can see right there, it's already in there. It's great to use this if you're only focusing on the general camera movement, but if you want to add something like on the bottom here of the mountain, there's actually a better way of creating that precise point. I'm going to delete this. What I'm going to do is I will try highlight this area, and I'm going to right click. Create text and camera will create text and camera, of course, so it can match your movement depending on your track points. Create solid, it will create a solid. Create a null. A null is an invisible object that holds tracking points details, which you can use that null to parent to other things like the text, the solid, different 3D objects and stuff. It will be used to control those objects. Create shadow, capture, camera, and light. This is very important if you are working with 3D objects. At the bottom here, you have create 585 text layers and camera, create 500 solid and camera, create 500 solid and null. It only highlights this number, the 500, depending on the number of track points that we have selected. So for example, if I deselect all these and select just 3 points, for example, select your camera tracker, select this point, hold control, this point, hold control, select this point. Now I have 3 points selected. If I right click here, you can see create 3 solids. You see now we have 3 different solids created on our track points. Let's highlight this again and right click. Now, set ground panel and origin helps you set an origin point for all your 3D objects. So if I select right here and allow this to be my origin point, every single 3D object that I import in this project will eventually get to be embedded right here. In digits, it's actually the 000 value. The last option here, we have the delete selected points. You can actually delete track points. On the camera tool, you have an option here which says auto delete points across, which means if you select this, it will actually remember the deleted points that get deleted out of frame. It will remember their position and so keep your camera tracker stable. I will definitely leave that checked. Great. Now let's go to the fun stuff. Make sure I have a wide angle shot, and then I'm going to highlight these points, right? I'm going to right click. I'm going to create solid and camera. I'm going to select my solid, and then I'm going to do some changes when it comes to the orientation, position, just trying to match how it looks right here. Now what I'm going to do is I will scale this up, move it across here, try to bring it down, move it like right here, and then I'm going to scale it this way, scale it a bit more, and I'll do a quick preview to make sure that it sticks to my tracking point. I'm actually not so happy with this because it changed in position, so I'm going to actually delete this and try to select other points. So I'm going to select these green points here, select a couple of green points. Now I'm going to right click on my target right here and create a solid. And you can see now, once you have the camera, if you right click, you'll get just create text, create solid, create null, create shadow catcher, and etc, etc. So I'm going to create solid, select my solid, try to see if it matches my scene. I'm going to like change this up. Most of the time it tends to act weird because of changes in the z-axis. If you do a lot of y and z-axis changes, that's what causes it to like lose its properties. So change that. I'm going to try to see if it works fine. I'm definitely happy with this one. So I'll select this solid, come to layer, solid settings. I will change this to white, not so white, a bit of gray. Yes, click OK and click OK. I'm going to blind this so you won't have to see this or hide it. And then what I'm going to do is some sort of a mask that aligns here with the channel of the lava here. We have our mask right here. I'll try to preview this. You can see our mask sticks right there. I'm going to bring this back, then open up mask properties, feather this a bit, then I will change the expansion here and reduce the mask opacity here. I'll probably change the color of this layer solid settings, then maybe make it red, more red. This is the end of our solid. It goes up to here, and I made a mistake of masking all the way out here, which leaves us with these hard lines, right? So I'll fix that just in a bit. What I'm going to do is just select these mask paths and delete them. I'll delete those and maybe delete these, and then I'll increase the feather so it can like dissolve. So right, we can have something like this, right? I'm going to reduce the opacity here, and then right here I'll click on put a stopwatch and then move forward like right here, and then set this to 100. I'm going to select these track points, right? Click F9, open up the graph editor and ease these out. Then we'll have something like this. Now that's just a change of color, right? Now let's add some text. Select our footage, select our camera tracker, select a couple of points here, right click, create text, and then I'm going to rename this text to lava. Select my text, select the x-axis for rotation, click, hold shift, then I'm gonna set this to 90 degrees. I'll select my text layer and reduce the font and bring this on the side like right here. I think I'm gonna rotate this back a bit. Yeah, see if it's tracked right. Yes. Now let's add a shape to highlight this text of ours. Make sure nothing is selected. Come here and pick the pen tool. You can even pick different shapes here, like the ellipse tool, the rectangular tool, depending on what you are looking for. But let's take the pen tool, make sure nothing is selected, because otherwise if you select anything you're going to be masking that layer, so we don't want to do that. What I want to do now is I'm going to click right here, hold shift, click right here so we get a straight line. Then I'm gonna click right here. Now if you come here at the top, you'll see you have options. You have the fill options and you have the stroke option. If the fill option is open, click on this fill and make sure it's not selected as solid but as none, and make sure on your stroke options you have selected solid color, so you'll have something like this. Okay, now you can make this as big as you want, but I will just leave it at 4, like right there. And I think I'm going to add another shape here, so I'm going to select this shape layer, then I'm going to pick the ellipse tool, right? Then I'll click here at the bottom, hold Control and Shift and drag, so I have the square right at where I've clicked at the center of where I've clicked at, and I will let go. If I zoom in here, you'll see I have this circle. So I don't want this, I want it to be So I don't want this with a stroke, I want it with a fill. So I'm going to click on stroke here, deactivate, and then I'm going to click on fill and select solid color, then click OK. And now if we go back, we have something like this. Now right now it's not yet tracked, as you can see. What you want to do is make it 3D by clicking on this icon, but the problem comes as when you play, you'll see it's way out here, right? So in order to put it on our text, what we need to do is select our text layer, click P on your keyboard so you can get the position properties, select your shape layer, click P so you can get the position properties. You can actually select both of them and click P. I don't know why even I did that. Select your text layer, click position, Control C to copy, then select your shape layer, Control V to paste. Now, as you can see, it has freaked out right there, but we're gonna fix that. So first we're gonna try to scale it up so we can see it. Then I'm going to right click on this layer, go to transform, center anchor point to layer. Then I will do a little adjustment of the position right here. Scale it until it matches my previous outline. Like right there. And now when you play, you have something like this. Now I want it to appear right as the red highlight starts to come in. So what you want to do is select your layer, come to the drop down arrow, come to content, then click on this add button right here, and then we want to add a trim paths. The trim paths will help us animate our line right there. So come to trim paths here, move forward to right here. I'm going to click on the start, come to the beginning of the timeline, and then I'm gonna make start 100. As always, select all of these, click F9, open your graph editor, and make this an easy out. Now we have something like this. You can adjust the keyframe depending on how you want the animation to look like. And on the text here, I am going to drag it right here, and then what I want to do is add in the typewriter tool, right? Typewriter effect. So in the end, you have something like this, and there's a lot of crazy stuff you can do with the camera tracker. This is just one of many ways you can actually edit and create a bunch of cool stuff. So, you know, have some fun, create something awesome.